Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is another sewing video, and this is actually a very fun, shiny garment. It's quite big, but it is actually a kid's one, but it's for quite a big kid. So this is actually a gift, so I'm filming this very far in advance so that I can get it all like wrapped up and all just like packed away so that I don't worry about it getting dirty or anything happen to it. So this is a top that I've made for my niece, and it is the Waves and Wild Milkshake hoodie. So it is a hoodie with a hooded element, a hood if you will, but it is actually sleeveless. So it's kind of a funny combination that sort of makes no sense, like in terms of practicalities and like what temperature it would be when you wear it and stuff, but I just think it's like cool, you know, like how kids are. And then I think she's quite cool and quite like, she's got quite trendy clothes, possibly about 400 years old now. So she is 9, but I've made this in a size 10. She's quite tall, and I just obviously always want to like size up rather than size down. And I don't think it needs to be like a perfect fit, because it is like a loose, kind of a loose fit. So the pattern is designed so that you can do colour blocking. There are a few other options, so you can have it with or without the hood, and if you don't have the hood, it has like a neckband instead. You can have it with or without a pocket. There is a pocket on here, it's just really hard to see. It's there. It's like a kangaroo pocket that like goes all the way through. And yeah, it has a front back, it has a waistband, it has the like sleeve bands, it has the hood or the neckband depending on what you make, and then you can colour block it. So the hood has a strip that goes down the middle. I've just done it in the same colour, but you can do it as a colour block option. The pattern pieces are slightly different though if you do the colour block option, and then you can also do the colour block option of the back where there is a strap that goes down the middle, and then you can obviously colour block how you want with your fabric. And then you can also colour block the pocket because there is a strip that goes down the middle of the pocket. Like I said, the pattern pieces are different. It's not just the strips, there's also like different hood pieces if you're colour blocking. And I like the fact that there are options with this pattern, and that you can like, the Waves and Wild are quite good for giving you very different options, but it does sometimes make it a bit confusing trying to figure out what you need to cut out, like what pages you need to print out, because I always get digital versions of these things. What pages to print out, what pieces to cut out the fabric, and what page to be on in the instructions. I think they do it as thoroughly and as simply as they can do, given the amount of different options that they tried to give you in the patterns. That's how I'm going to phrase that. And the price of the patterns is very affordable. It's 14 Australian dollars, which comes out to me as being something like 7 or 8 British pounds. Which compared to other independent companies is on the cheaper side. I think the fact that they're Australian might explain why it's like a sleeveless tank hoodie, because they probably have more days where you can wear sleeveless clothes. But I still think it's just really cool, and I think, I don't know, I'm hoping that she'll like it, but I think she'll like the fact that it has a hood and that it's sleeveless. I just think that, I think she'll enjoy that. I also think that she'll like this purple velvet, which I got from Minerva. I keep going on Minerva. I love just looking at their website. They have so many like nice fabrics, especially their own range that they keep bringing out more and more for, and I watch a lot of their videos on YouTube, but it does always end up being more expensive than other places, so I don't buy from them that often anymore. But I did buy this from Minerva, and I liked it. It is polyester velvet. I don't actually know if you get any natural fibre velvets. I kind of assume they're all polyester. It's this really fun, like very shiny purpley colour. It has stretch in it, which is what the pattern calls for. And I just thought it would be like cool and fun, especially for like a young person. I think the inside, the wrong side of the fabric is like soft enough. I don't think it'd be super scratchy, but the hood does have like a lining, and then also there is like a back neck facing, so that will, which then has like the right side of the velvet show, like against your skin, so that will be like smoother. It was fairly easy to sew with. I was a bit worried that velvet might be really hard. It doesn't have a very like thick like pile, so that probably helped. The hardest thing was that I cut the pieces out, then left them for a few days, and the edges all started to curl, and the seam allowance in the pattern is only like 6mm, which I really wish that they would give you more seam allowance than that, because I need more than that. And the edges of the fabric that I started to curl over were my seam allowance, and so it did cause me problems, particularly the seam where you join the hood to the like bodice. There's quite a few layers of fabric to sew through, and then all the edges had sort of slightly curled, and I sewed it about 400 times because I kept finding little holes in it where I hadn't caught all of the layers of the fabric together when I was sewing, but it was really hard because I couldn't see them as I was sewing, and then they were all, the edges were curling. So that was my major problem with the pattern. Well, not with the pattern itself, because that was fine, but with the actual construction of this garment and sewing this fabric was just this one seam that I had to re-sew so many times. But I feel like hopefully it is now pretty well constructed and held together, hopefully. Kids aren't that careful with their clothes, are they? So yeah, fingers crossed it'll all hold together and won't just start like popping out everywhere. It does also, like I say, have like a back neck facing, which you totally can't see, but then you top stitch that in place and the stitches are visible. Well, again, not when I'm holding it up, but there, I don't know if that's visible or not, but I'm quite pleased with how I ended up sewing that. It doesn't pop out because the thread is quite a good colour match for the fabric, which is good, but I was quite neat with sewing that on. That was one of the bits that I had to completely unpick though, because I had to re-sew that neck seam, and then I had to re-sew that neck facing. Sort of lost my mind at that point. But yeah, that is the garment. It's a nice pattern, I like it. Hopefully I'll make it more maybe for my own son in like a even smaller size, and I'm hoping that my niece will like this fun fabric and that she'll like it and that it'll fit, because it just looks massive, but she is like big now. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and please give me a like and subscribe.